let's start with you, Mr. Ford. We're going over Grambling's schedule. And
let me just say this. I'm not really good at, prognosticating about who's going to win and all, but let me just say this. And this is my belief. I believe that one of the things that would help the West is that Grambling and Southern take its place as the dominant powers in the West. Now, I know y'all going to get mad about Prairie View, but see, my thing with Prairie View, they don't have the following, and, they don't, like now, this is what I'm saying. Prairie View came to Florida A&M for the SWAC championship. Now, let's just be honest. Did nobody give a damn about Prairie View coming to Tallahassee for that SWAC championship? Now, on the other hand, could you imagine if Southern had come to Tallahassee for the SWAC championship? Could you imagine that? Now, listen, I know it was raining, but I'm going to tell you right now, if it had been Southern and FAM in that SWAC championship last year, it'd have been 25,000 in there, even in that damn rainstorm. I know that's hypothetical, but it would have been 25,000 up in there. So I'm just saying what I really want to see this year is that I want, now this is how I feel about my school, about Grambling. I want us to compete, but I don't think we're ready. Unlike what Mr. Campbell is saying, I think Southern is, let me tell you about Southern. And I told people this all last year. Southern didn't have a personnel problem last year. Southern had a coaching problem, okay? And here's the thing with Southern. If you go into Baton Rouge, you go into Southern University, and you first instill discipline in them players at Southern, and you organize them, listen, Southern will be the team to beat in the West. I'm just telling y'all. And I'm going to tell you something. And a lot of people going to disagree and going to holler and scream about this. It would be really good if Southern and FAM met up for that SWAC championship.
You just being downright disrespectful. You is being disrespectful. Now,
dang,
look,
Mr. Ford just came in wrecking shop. Come on.
Right. All right, Mr. Ford. We're going through Grambling's. This is Grambling's schedule. All right. They played the Louisiana Raging Cajuns.
We can't, no, that's, no, we can't do nothing with that.
All right.
That's, where's that, Lafayette? Where's that?
Yep, Lafayette, Louisiana.
No, we can't do that. That's Billy Napier's old school, right?
Yeah.
No, we can't do that. Maybe he coming back because they're going to run him out of Gainesville this year because they can't have that down there in Florida. See, listen, and there's another thing. This is hypothetical, but let me just tell y'all this. I know y'all holler Alabama Crimson Tide, and y'all holler all them other schools, Georgia and Auburn and all that. But I'm going to tell you something. The school that should be dominating the SEC should be the University of Florida Gators. Why? Because they're in the state of Florida. That's 20. See, we got about 9 to 10 million people here in the state of Georgia. Florida doubles that and more.
Mr. Ford, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Every Gator alumni says that every day when they lose. So that ain't, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's not a news flash for anybody in the state of Florida. And that's why not being good. And that goes back to Charlie Pell when he brought that program to finally have a winning season. And I know you remember Charlie Pell.
Yeah, Charlie, he committed suicide, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that Florida has all the money. So to that point, Florida's probably to take the school came. Florida was the richest school in the SEC. Till Texas school came.
Right now, they are the sleeping giant. For years, it was LSU. LSU had all them great players, and they didn't ever do nothing. Now it's the Florida Gators. They got all them great players down there, and they don't do nothing. That's why Billy Napier probably going to end up back at Lafayette because he's a good guy. He's from Georgia, but that job is too big for him. See, they got to see. You're going to be at the University of Florida. They got to have a top 10 coach at the University of Florida. They got to have that. If they don't have that, it ain't going to be right.
Huh? Urban Meyer.
You know, I wouldn't have a problem with it now. He's a crook, but listen, he's a great football coach. He's a crook, man. But he's a great football coach.
What about Tuskegee, Golden Tigers, and Grambling? Is that a win?
Yeah, that's a win. That's a win. And let me just say this. You know, I really would like for Tuskegee to get their program together. I grew up going to see Tuskegee and FAMU, Tuskegee Albany State, Tuskegee and Marsh Brown, Tuskegee and Fort Valley. And I really would like for Tuskegee to upgrade their program. We saw them last year play Alabama A&M for Alabama A&M's homecoming, and Alabama A&M, like you always say, put belt to ass. I mean, they embarrassed them on national TV. And we said then that they've got to totally upgrade their, and they can do it. Listen, when I talk about Tuskegee, I got to give them all the respect, because at one time, the two most powerful universities in the HBCU world was Howard University and Tuskegee in the Deep South. At one time, Booker T. Washington, if you had a school, he sent you your president. He would send FAMU their president. He would send Grambling their president. That's how powerful Tuskegee was. And I want to see them upgrade their program. They have the money to compete against SWAC and MEAC schools. They have that. They're the winningest Black college in HBCU history. They have over 700 football wins. Okay? I just want them to upgrade their program.
Texas A&M Commerce.
I don't know too much. Now, are they one double? Are they FCS or are they Division II? What's Commerce?
The Commerce is FCS. They are in the Southland.
But they're 1-7. They're in the bottom, the very bottom.
Okay, so you know what? It could be a win for us.
Jackson State.
I mean, Jackson should be favored with all them athletes y'all got, and you know the money behind y'all. You should be favored. You should be favored.
The State Fair Classic with Prairie View versus.
We've been having problems in that. Now, have they beaten us, Doc, 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row? Or 4 years? Yeah.
Prairie View has beaten y'all the last 5 out of 6 years. Y'all
won
last
last season. We got problems up with
that.
Prairie View did Grambling so bad they gave them an eviction notice out of the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, so listen, we got to get that straightened out, because it was nothing like that. Well, you know, when I was at Grambling at the time, Prairie View, General Becht and them basically pulled the guts out of the Prairie View program because they wouldn't allow them to have scholarships. So we got to get that straightened out. Because let me say, the reason that Grambling has to get, when I was at Grambling, the people at Grambling, when you would graduate, the first city that they would tell you to go and look for a job was Dallas, Texas. There's so many Grambling graduates in Dallas, Texas, it's not funny. So we got to get that straightened out, because that's a stomping ground for Grambling is Dallas, Texas. We got to get that straightened out.
I didn't know that it was that bad for Grambling.
Yeah. I think Dooley kicked it. Like you said, Dooley put belt to ass. He kicked out our hair.
Dooley started.
Yeah, Dooley did us in.
And then Bubba just said, "I'm gonna continue it."
Yeah.
You were speaking so highly of it. All right, so this all these stories that you're telling. This is how it feels like. I hope the program's been rejuvenated.
Who is this? Grambling?
Yeah, Grambling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have. I think they have. I like the stack. I like the stack. And all this stuff about Miles Crawley not gonna catch on the Dooley system, that's a lie. Dooley does great with quarterbacks, especially when he's offensive coordinator.
Victory song. Oh, Grambling, dear Grambling, we love you, dear. Oh, Grambling.
They sounded so sad and defeated when they were singing that.
Well, they went and got Hugh Jackson, and he was, a lot of show, but nothing, I knew they was going to get rid of him. Them two bad Bayou Classics, every one of them he should have won. I knew they were going to get rid of him. You can't do that at Grambling. They ain't going to allow you to make them look bad on national TV in the Bayou Classic. They think they own that. They ain't going to let you. I knew they were going to get rid of him.
Okay, Alcorn State in Grambling.
Okay, and we was talking about this Sunday. See, I love Cedric Thomas. I just don't know nothing about this guy. He went out and got to run his offense. I don't know nothing about this guy. The guy that I really liked, he left Alcorn and went up to Norfolk State with Dawson Odoms. I really like that guy. I know that they're going to be sound defensively. They're going to be sound special team, but I don't know I don't know what to expect from the offense. I don't. But now let me just tell you this: when it comes to Alcorn and Grambling, that's cats and dogs. That's going to be a heavyweight knockout fight. But as far as right now, for me, it's a toss-up. But I know it's going to be a hard-hitting game. And see, a lot of them kids at Grambling and at Alcorn, they actually from the same hometowns, whether it be Louisiana or Mississippi. They're from the same hometowns.
UAPB, Golden
Oh, we beat them. We'll beat them. That's a win.
Oh, that's a win?
That's a win.
Texas Southern.
Right now, I will pick Grambling. I don't know nothing about Chris Dishman and his coaching. I don't know, I have to talk with Doc about them. I don't know what to expect from Texas Southern. But my opinion of, like I told you earlier, about the administration and how they handle things is to the ground. So I'm just going to go against them. I think Grambling beats it. Where's that game? Is it in Houston or in Grambling?
That's in Houston, Texas. That's a Houston, Texas game.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Grambling.
Bethune-Cookman in Daytona Beach, Florida.
That's going to be rough. That's going to be rough. Because I keep telling y'all, I know nobody don't want to agree with me. If they get that offensive line down and they come up with a stable quarterback, I'm telling y'all, we're going to have to watch Bethune-Cookman. Because, see, I've watched them for a number of years with that Jenkins guy. His name was Brian Jenkins. They controlled the MEAC. They beat ass. Okay? I'm serious.
Who did they beat? Spam you.
They beat them. They beat A&T. They beat Hampton. They beat all of them. That guy, Brian Jenkins, one of the biggest mistakes he made was leaving Bethune-Cookman and going to Alabama State. Those people didn't want him, didn't accept him, just didn't treat him right at all, didn't really give him a chance. But he had Bethune-Cookman as a dominant power in HBCU football for at least 6 or 7 years. If you go back and look at how many years he won the SWAC. Look at how many years he won the MEAC. He was dominant. I believe that this guy, this is Coach Woody, right? Isn't it Raymond Woody?
Yep.
This guy can bring. I think he's got a quality staff. They saying that it's overrated about the kids he brought in, but I'm waiting to see. I saw Bethune last year. It was no. I didn't see a quarterback, and the offensive line was not dominant. It was not dominant.
They got a recruit today. It was a former quarterback. I want to say from Oklahoma.
Ooh, what's his name?
Let me give you his name. Somebody literally just sent it to me too. And that was today that they got that. Let me see. Former Charlotte and Oklahoma quarterback Micah Bowens II commits to Bethune-Cookman.
What kind of size? What we talking about? Is he a big kid?
Let me see. I'm gonna have to see. But he has been absolutely targeting folks like in the Midwest.
Yeah, and he brought all them kids from the back rail.
And he is targeting them to bring them to the beach.
Yeah. Listen, when I was growing up, that's what everybody wanted to go to Daytona Beach. The thing they say 26 miles of beach. That was their moniker.
He was rated a 4-star recruit by ESPN, a 3-star prospect by 247 Sports and Rivals.
And where's he from? Where was his hometown?
He's the number 2 prospect in Nevada. He's from Las Vegas.
Oh, he's from Vegas. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he started at Penn State and redshirted in 2009. 2020. COVID happened. He went to Oklahoma. He transferred to Oklahoma, and he didn't play. And then in Charlotte, he played in one game versus Florida Atlantic. So he doesn't really have any stats.
Well, that doesn't mean nothing because I tell everybody, third string on the FBS level in HBCU football is an All-American. You know, when Kincaid, who to me is one of the greatest quarterbacks that we saw in the SWAC in the last 10, 15 years, listen, he was third string at Ole Miss. Okay? So when you bring them third stringers to HBCU, that's still good. Jeremy Musa, wasn't he third string at Vanderbilt? What was he at Vanderbilt?
He wasn't even that.
I'm about to say that. So I ain't got no problem with it.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ford. Last but not least, we got Alabama State and Alabama A&M and Southern.
You know,
Alabama State is in Grambling.
Yeah, I'm Alabama. Yeah, I think Alabama State should win. I think they should be favored. I think, yeah. See, let me just say this. You know, when I was a teenager, they used to say if it wasn't for Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Commodores would be the best band. And if it wasn't for FAMU, Alabama State would probably win the SWAC. But FAMU is in the way. And so when they come to Grambling, do they come to Grambling?
Yeah. You're talking
well, they should be favored. Alabama State should be favored.
In Grambling? In the hole?
Yeah, in Grambling, in the hole.
Somebody was okay. And then you got Alabama A&M.
I think we beat them. We beat A&M now.
Oh,
yeah.
And then Sudden.
Now, you know what? That's a dog fight. You know, listen.
That y'all can't be losing the Bayou Classic.
Well, I know it, but listen, that's a dog fight. You can't pick it. It's a toss up. Because it means more than just, you know, it's more than just a game. You know, that's family against family. And them the worst fights it is when it's family against family.
Facts.
Yeah.
Mr. Ford.
Uh-huh.
Don't stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep.
Yeah, I went to sleep the other night. I heard you. Listen, people called and told me y'all won't be out too. I did go to sleep.
All right, well, don't fall asleep.
Oh, no, I'm right here.
Campbell and Doc, we're going to hurry up and go through it so we can get some commentary from Mr. Ford for at least one more schedule. Let's go, Mr. Campbell.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I want to make something quick. Here's the thing, I'm going to say something. I think what people are sleeping on, the person that has the quarterback that has the most skill and the most experience is Grambling's quarterback, Miles Crawley.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something, too. I was down there during those championship years with Grambling. People could talk about Eric Dooley as a head coach, but I'm going to tell you what Eric Dooley is a hell of an offensive coordinator.
Yes, he is.
I'm going to tell you that I saw that man practice day in, day. I was at Grambling every week, and I saw what that offense he installed. And I'm going to tell you something. Crawley, Kincaid, to Mr. Ford's point, similar type of quarterbacks. Nobody thought Kincaid was going to be as good. So I'm just saying, people, they got the best quarterback coming back because he's played and he can throw that football. So with that being said, let's get at it. So let's see here. We got Louisiana Raging Cajuns. They'll lose that game. Grambling, Tuskegee. Grambling will win that one. I'm going to take Grambling over Texas A&M Commerce. I think I got them mixed up with somebody else. So shout out to PV versus everybody because I got them mixed up. I was thinking about another school down there. But there you go. So I'm taking Grambling on that. Jackson State at Grambling. I think Jackson State goes down there and gives Grambling a head knock on that one. I think Jackson State wants to go down there and win that one. Prairie View and Grambling, again, that's in Dallas. Prairie View is rolling. I think Prairie View wins that game. Now, here's my upset alert. I think Grambling beats Alcorn. I think I got Grambling beating Alcorn. I think that's my upset. I think I told you guys that when we talked about Alcorn. Yeah. Grambling versus Arkansas Pine Bluff, I've got Grambling. I've got Grambling beating Texas Southern. I've got Grambling losing to Bethune-Cookman, but Bethune-Cookman is my sleeper. And I'm going to say this again, and Mr. Ford, Bethune-Cookman was beating Grambling when Grambling was making their Celebration Bowl runs. And they have been but I think they've been Grambling 2 out of 3 times since we've been in the SWAC, if I'm correct. So that's going to be a good game there. I've got Alabama State beating Grambling on November 9th. I've got Grambling beating Alabama A&M, and I've got Grambling finishing out the season beating Southern.
Ooh, that's a 7-5.
I think I like what Grambling's doing. Yeah. And the reason, and remember this, I keep telling you, quarterbacks make a difference in the SWAC.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Quarterbacks make a difference in the SWAC. And Eric Dooley, so again, you guys can zero and goose egg Dooley, but I'm telling you, I saw that man firsthand when he was just saying all he has to do is focus and talk in that quarterback room with Miles crawling, they're going to dial some things up.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah. Says A&M done beat Grambling 2 years in a row.
And I told Jay White that they only win in 2 SWAC games, so they're not being Grambling this year. That I can tell you. I'm telling you, okay. You guys are sleeping on Miles Crawling and Eric Dooley. Yeah. I'm so Prairie View versus everybody and Jay White, we already got a bet. If you want to put your money on Alabama A&M on that Thursday, please let me know. I'll be right here. And I don't lose bets.
Doc, what you got? Grambling.
All right, so you said the Raging Cajun is the first game. They'll take an L. Second game, you got Tuskegee. I got Grambling winning big on that one. A&M Commerce.
They were literally 1-9 last year.
Yeah, they were 1-9, but shoot, I don't know. But I go Grambling. Close, not by a lot, but close. Jackson State, we go in there, try to beat you by 40, but we know we're gonna leave out of there by at least a 10-point win. Right. State Fair Classic. Prairie View is giving Grambling an eviction notice again. Against Alcorn. I had Alcorn winning this game because I kind of did say Alcorn can go into the hole, try to win this game. Pine Bluff, they will beat Pine Bluff. Texas Southern is down at that soccer stadium. They'll beat TSU. Bethune-Cookman, that's the game that's the sleeper game right there. Daytona. I'll go with the Wildcats. Alabama State. Down in the hole. I'm gonna go with Bama State by 3. A&M, they'll beat A&M. By that time, Maynard done already got his Mayflower truck to move his stuff back to North Carolina. And then the Bayou Classic, I got Grambling in the Bayou Classic.
Okay. So I counted 5. I counted 7 and 5. You had Alabama State. You had them losing to Bethune. You had them losing to Alcorn, losing to Jackson State, and losing to the Raging Cajun. So
losing to Prairie View too.
Oh, losing to Prairie View too?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got them 6 and 6. See, it's a lot of 6 and 6 and 7 and 5s over here on the SWAC West side.
And that clock's about right because all those teams in the last 3 years have been exactly that.
Yeah, they have.
So honestly, that clock's about right.
The East, if you win the East, you win the SWAC.
But we already said that the de facto SWAC championship game is FAMU and Jackson State, October 19th.
Point blank period.
Yeah.
So out of the West, it just don't matter. It's between, to me, like I said, it's going to be between Prairie View and Alcorn. Because I don't see no other team try to go up against them like that.
You don't see no other?
Not in the West.
But then the thing is, like, you would want for your SWAC championship to be competitive. Good Lord.
That is true. That is true.